Paying more interest will always be a good expense. What is interest, Braxton?
Cost of money.
Yeah, but what is it? Y'all always miss this. What is interest? No.
I'm just trying to think if I always miss it. I know I've answered it before.
Cost of money. I mean, I don't know.
No, not what is interest as in define interest. What is interest? It's a tax write-off.
Yes.
Who pays for interest?
Joe Biden.
What do banks do next year when you go to borrow money?
Give it back to you.
They give you credit back for it. If you're looking for those paper quote unquote losses, interest, paying more interest will always be a good expense. What else do they credit back to you, Braxton?
A lot of things. What do you mean?
The banks. When you're going for a refi, what else do they credit back to you?
Property taxes, insurance, depreciation.
Depreciation. They don't give you credit for insurance or property taxes.
Well, if they're going off of EBITDA.
No, they don't give you. When you're paying taxes at the end of the year, you say I made $200,000.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and you're like, I don't want to pay taxes on $200,000. What do you need to do?
Depreciate something.
You need to depreciate something, because you can go do an event. You can find another write-off. You can put some logos on some apparel. You can spend it on marketing. Mm-hmm. You can dump the whole thing into marketing. At the end of the year, you can say, oh, I don't want to pay. I would rather spend $100,000 on marketing than I had paid taxes on that extra $100,000 in income. But the bank will see it and say, you didn't make any money. What if you buy F-250?
Write it all off. They'll credit it back.
They'll credit it back. So when you're planning this business, when you're planning, when you're making, and this, we're not CPAs, this ain't tax advice. I'm just telling you, there's ways, and paying more interest and getting more cash flow. It never hurts you with the bank. Plus the bank now, you know what I mean? The bank's margins right now are getting squeezed hard because of the raise in interest rates. You get what I mean? So they're only collecting lower interest rates, but they're having to, if I go buy a CD at the bank, they're having to pay me more. Get what I mean? Mm-hmm. So their margins are being squeezed. What else is happening to the bank during this little crisis we're having? Are you lining up to borrow 9% money?
We are. Some people aren't.
Why aren't they? They can't.
Locked in at a lower rate.
Well, they might be locked into a lower rate, but
the house that we're going to buy now is so much more expensive than it was. They don't want the house they can afford.
Not even that. They can't afford. They can't negotiate a deep enough discount. They can't.
I'm saying they would have to go to a different property to get into like a cheaper one.
I'm not talking about the retail buyers. I'm talking about investors right now. Are they lining up at the bank trying to borrow 9% money?
I mean, not really.
Not really. So what do banks have opportunities to loan on right now? Cars, trailers, personal lines of credit, stuff like that. What do they feel more comfortable with? That stuff or real estate?
Real estate.
So if there's less borrowers and their margins are getting squeezed, what do they need?
They have to make more off each deal.
No. They need more qualified customers. They got the same revenue problem you got, Spoon. What do you need?
Cash flow.
You need more buyers. You need more people to wholesale to. You need to be able to generate revenue to be able to feed your family, right?
Right.
So in the next 2 weeks we're projecting, or next week or this week we're projecting $47,000, right?
Right.
So $47,000 will hit your bank account this week. You have to do that again next week to keep your head above water.
That's
right,
correct.
right. So you have to produce it. Where does a bank go to get that? If there's no qualified people walking through the door trying to borrow because they just don't exist, do you think it hurts or helps your chances of being able to keep refinancing?
It helps.
Do you agree?
Yeah.
So as long as you can negotiate equity on a deal and put a tenant in place and cash flow it at 9%, I think banks will be there for you.
Right.
I think they will. I don't think they're going to go nowhere. I don't think they're going to look up and say, hey, Spoonie, you've already borrowed $5 million this year. Because they've got to keep, every time the interest rates go up, they have to get their margin up. You get what I mean?
I do.
They have to get their margin up. Same thing, Braxton. I don't think they're going to turn off spigot. So how do you mitigate that?
Just keep renting stuff out and taking it to them. Hey, this already supports debt.
Deeper
Get
discount.
it going.
But they are getting a little weird on mobile homes. So we got to figure that one out.